Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the Earth. Not as we know it today, but as it was over 230 million years ago. There are no cities, no humans, no signs of civilization. Instead, the land is dominated by vast deserts, strange forests of ferns and towering conifers, and one enormous supercontinent called Pangaea. The air is heavy with heat and strange reptiles crawl across the ground. At first glance, nothing here resembles the mighty dinosaurs we picture in our minds. The rulers of the land are crocodile-like creatures and giant amphibians. But hidden among them, small and fragile-looking animals begin to appear. Creatures no bigger than a dog. These are the first dinosaurs. Their names are forgotten to most, but paleontologists call them Eoraptor and Herrerasaurus. They walk on two legs, light and quick, with sharp teeth designed for hunting. They are not yet the kings of Earth, but they carry within them the blueprint of what's to come. As time passes, these early dinosaurs begin to spread. Pangaea's vast open land allows them to migrate freely, from what will one day become South America to Africa, Asia, and beyond. Unlike the heavy, lumbering reptiles around them, dinosaurs evolved to be faster, smarter, and more adaptable. Their legs are positioned directly beneath their bodies, giving them strength and speed. Their lungs and bones are lighter, allowing them to move more efficiently. The Triassic period becomes their testing ground, survival of the fittest in its rawest form. Massive predators like Prehistoric, not dinosaurs but close relatives, dominate the food chain. Yet the small dinosaurs learn to evade, to adapt, to thrive where others cannot. By the end of the Triassic, something extraordinary happens. A mass extinction wipes out many of the dominant reptiles of the age. But the dinosaurs, still small in number, survive, and with their competitors gone, they step into the empty throne of evolution. The stage is set. The rulers of Earth have arrived. The Age of Dinosaurs has begun. The Earth turns, millions of years pass, and the world changes once again. We have entered the Jurassic period and a time of warmth, growth, and abundance. The deserts of the Triassic give way to lush forests, endless plains, and fertile valleys. The climate is humid, oxygen levels rise, and life flourishes like never before. And with this new world come the giants. For the first time, the ground shakes beneath the footsteps of massive creatures that tower over the trees. Meet the Brachiosaurus, a gentle giant with a neck that stretches as high as a 4-story building. Its enormous body weighs more than 50 tons, yet it spends its days calmly stripping leaves from treetops. With each step, the earth trembles and smaller creatures scatter in fear. Nearby, another colossus roams the land. The Diplodocus, one of the longest animals to ever walk the earth. Its tail, whip-like and powerful, could be used as a weapon against predators. And then there is the Stegosaurus, armored with plates along its back and a tail tipped with deadly spikes. It may be slow, but it is far from defenseless. But for every gentle giant, there must be a hunter. And in the Jurassic, the role of predator belongs to the Allosaurus. With razor-sharp teeth and claws designed to tear flesh, it prowls the forest in packs, targeting the weak and the young. Its roar echoes across the valleys, a sound of fear that even the largest dinosaurs respect. Above, the skies are no longer empty. Strange winged reptiles called pterosaurs dominate the air. Some are no bigger than a seagull, while others, like the mighty pteranodon, spread their wings wider than a car. They dive to catch fish from rivers, soar above the plains, and mark the first true conquest of the skies. And below the waves, the oceans are ruled by monsters of their own. The dolphin-shaped ichthyosaurs slice through the water with speed and grace, while the long-necked plesiosaurs lurk in the depths, snapping up fish with lightning-fast strikes. To swim in these seas is to enter a world just as terrifying and majestic as the land above. The Jurassic period is a golden age. Dinosaurs spread across every continent, evolving into shapes and sizes more diverse than ever before. Some grow armor, some sprout horns, and others develop social behaviors. Herds that migrate together for survival. The world belongs to them now, and their reign has only just begun. But while the giants dominate the land, the balance of life is delicate. For every towering Brachiosaurus, there must be forest strong enough to feed it. For every predator like Allosaurus, there must be prey to hunt. The cycle of life and death spins on, and the earth grows ever more alive. The Jurassic is not just the age of giants, it is the age when dinosaurs became the true rulers of the planet. The Jurassic world is alive with giants, but survival is never guaranteed. For every towering herbivore that peacefully grazes, there is a predator lurking in the shadows, watching, waiting. This is the eternal story of nature, hunters and prey. Picture the mighty Allosaurus standing tall on two powerful legs, its skull filled with sharp, serrated teeth. It is not the largest predator to ever live, but it is cunning and relentless. Allosaurus often hunted in groups, working together like wolves. Their targets were the giants themselves, young Diplodocus, weak Brachiosaurus, or a distracted Stegosaurus. Even with its deadly tail spikes, a lone Stegosaurus was no match for a hungry pack. Yet herbivores were far from helpless. Many of them evolved astonishing defenses. The Stegosaurus, with its massive backplates, may have used them to intimidate predators, flashing its body in the sun like a warning sign. Its tail, tipped with 4 brutal spikes called the thagomizer, could swing with the force of a sledgehammer. One strike could shatter the ribs of an attacker. Then there was the Ankylosaurus, often described as a living tank. Covered head to tail in armor-like plates, it carried a giant club at the end of its tail, a weapon strong enough to crush the bones of even the fiercest predator. For a hunter, attacking an ankylosaur was like charging headfirst into a wall of stone and steel. But the real game-changers of the dinosaur world were the raptors. Sleek, fast, and intelligent raptors were the wolves of their time. They hunted in coordinated packs, communicating with calls and signals. Their sickle-shaped claws could slash through flesh with terrifying precision. Unlike the brute strength of the Allosaurus, raptors relied on strategy, speed, and teamwork. And then, there is the king-in-waiting. Though not yet at its peak, the early relatives of the Tyrannosaurus Rex began to appear during this time. Small at first, but with jaws and instincts that would one day evolve into the most feared predator Earth has ever seen. But predators were not the only ones evolving. Herbivores grew smarter too. Many began living in herds, protecting one another with sheer numbers. A single Triceratops could be vulnerable, but a herd of them, horns lowered, moving as one, was nearly unstoppable. Migrating together across plains, they formed a living wall of defense against attackers. Even stranger adaptations appeared. Some dinosaurs, like Parasaurolophus, developed long, hollow crests on their heads, which may have been used to produce haunting, low calls across the land, signals to warn the herd of danger, or perhaps songs to attract mates. In a world filled with predators, communication could mean the difference between life and death. This balance, the hunters sharpening their skills, the prey building new defenses, drove evolution forward at a relentless pace. Each kill, each escape, each battle between predator and herbivore shaped the dinosaurs into some of the most remarkable creatures to ever walk the earth. The struggle for survival was constant, brutal, and breathtaking. And yet, this very struggle is what allowed dinosaurs to dominate the planet for millions of years. The age of hunters and prey was not a story of winners or losers. It was the eternal dance of life itself. The age of dinosaurs was not only about power and size, it was also an age of mystery, filled with creatures so strange, so unique that they look almost unreal, as if nature itself was experimenting with life. Imagine the frozen lands of Antarctica today, endless ice and snow. But in the time of the dinosaurs, it was a land of towering green forests, rivers, and warm breezes. Fossils reveal that dinosaurs thrived even here, proving they were far more adaptable than we once believed. Imagine giant herds moving beneath the midnight sun, their footprints pressing deep into soil that is now hidden beneath kilometers of ice. Now picture a creature unlike any other, the Therizinosaurus. Standing as tall as a giraffe, it had feathers covering its body and arms, ending in claws more than 3 feet long, the longest claws of any animal in history. Were these weapons tools for pulling down branches, or simply a display to frighten predators? To this day, scientists debate, but the mystery only adds to its terrifying beauty. And then there is the Parasaurolophus, with its long, hollow crest curving back from its skull. This strange tube acted like a built-in trumpet. When blown through by the animal's breath, it could produce haunting calls that echoed for miles. Some believe these sounds were communication signals warning the herd of danger. Others think they were songs, a way to attract mates. Imagine standing in a prehistoric forest as the eerie sound of dinosaur music rolls across the valley. But not all mysteries were about sound. Some dinosaurs turned their very bodies into weapons and shields. The Ankylosaurs carried heavy armor and tails tipped with clubs. The Pachycephalosaurus had skulls so thick they may have used them to headbutt rivals in battles for dominance. And the horned Triceratops was both majestic and deadly, with 3 sharp horns capable of goring even the fiercest predator. Dinosaurs also lived in ways that shocked scientists. Fossilized nests show us that some species cared for their young, protecting eggs and feeding hatchlings. They weren't just mindless beasts, they were parents, families, communities. Imagine herds of hundreds moving across plains together, mothers guarding nests while fathers stood watch, and young ones learning to walk under the shadows of giants. The mystery deepens when we ask, how did dinosaurs sound? Movies often show them roaring like lions, but evidence suggests their voices may have been stranger. Low rumbling calls like elephants, deep resonant booms that vibrated across the ground, or even bird-like songs, because remember, birds are living dinosaurs, and the greatest mystery of all, their colors. Fossils rarely preserve skin pigments, but new discoveries hint that some dinosaurs were far more colorful than we imagined. Feathers with iridescent shades, scales patterned for camouflage, bright crests and frills designed to dazzle rivals. The prehistoric world may have been as vivid and bright as any jungle today. This was not just the world of dinosaurs. It was a world of endless mystery, where each discovery makes us realize how much we still don't know. Dinosaurs were not just monsters. They were complex, intelligent, and fascinating creatures who left behind a story written in bone, stone, and imagination. For over 165 million years, dinosaurs ruled the Earth. They survived shifting continents, volcanic eruptions, and the rise and fall of oceans. They had grown larger, smarter, and more diverse than any animals before them. It seemed nothing could end their reign. But then, something did. It begins in the Cretaceous period, around 66 million years ago. The world is alive with creatures more spectacular than ever. Herds of Triceratops roam the plains, defending themselves with their massive horns. The skies are filled with pterosaurs gliding like shadows across the sun, and deep in the forests lurks the most legendary predator of them all, Tyrannosaurus Rex. With jaws strong enough to crush bone and teeth the size of knives, it is the perfect hunter, the undisputed king of the dinosaurs. But even kings can fall. Far above Earth, a rock the size of a mountain hurtles through space. It is 6 miles wide, traveling faster than a bullet. For millions of years, it has wandered the solar system silently, unseen. But on this day, fate guides it toward Earth. When it strikes the Yucatan Peninsula in modern-day Mexico, the impact is beyond imagination. In less than a second, a shockwave erupts with the force of billions of nuclear bombs. The ground vaporizes, mountains crumble. A crater over 90 miles wide is carved into the Earth. The immediate destruction is unimaginable. Forests burst into flames across entire continents. Tsunamis taller than skyscrapers crash into coastlines. Animals, great and small, are thrown into chaos. But the deadliest killer is not the asteroid itself. It is what comes after. The impact throws dust, ash, and debris high into the atmosphere, blocking out the sun. For months, maybe even years, the Earth is plunged into darkness. Plants wither without sunlight. The food chain collapses. Herbivores starve, predators soon follow. The mighty dinosaurs, once masters of the world, cannot escape this chain reaction. Even the powerful Tyrannosaurus, even the massive Brachiosaurus, even the armored Ankylosaurus, all of them fall to extinction. The age of giants is over, but not everything dies. Small mammals, reptiles, and most importantly, small feathered dinosaurs, the ancestors of birds, survive. While the giants vanish, their tiny descendants adapt, finding food, hiding in burrows, waiting out the long winter of Earth. And when the sun finally returns, the dinosaurs are gone. The world is quiet, forever changed. The throne of evolution is empty once more, ready for a new ruler to rise. The catastrophe was not just the end of an era. It was the beginning of another. The age of mammals, the age that would one day give rise to us. The asteroid has struck. The skies have darkened. The giants are gone. But the story of the dinosaurs does not end in silence. Their legacy is still alive, in ways you might not even realize. Every time you see a bird soar above the sky, you are watching a living dinosaur. Yes, it sounds incredible, but science has proven that modern birds are direct descendants of theropod dinosaurs, the same family that gave us Velociraptors and the mighty Tyrannosaurus Rex. The pigeons in the park, the eagles on the mountains, the sparrows outside your window, they are the last living branch of a family that once ruled the Earth. Dinosaurs also left behind another treasure, fossils. Hidden in stone for millions of years, their bones tell us stories no words ever could. Paleontologists carefully uncover these remains piece by piece, reconstructing what the giants looked like, how they lived, how they hunted, how they died. Each fossil is like a page in Earth's history book. And what we've learned is astonishing. Dinosaurs were not dumb, slow monsters as once believed. They were intelligent, adaptable, and diverse. Some cared for their young. Some traveled in herds across vast landscapes. Some may have sung haunting calls into the night while others flashed bright colors across their feathers and scales. Beyond science, dinosaurs live on in our imagination. They inspire our movies, our books, our art. From Jurassic Park to children's toys, they are creatures of wonder, fear, and fascination. They remind us of Earth's deep history, a time when the world belonged not to humans but to giants. But perhaps the greatest legacy of the dinosaurs is the lesson of change. For millions of years they were invincible, yet in a single moment everything ended. Life on Earth is fragile, and survival belongs not to the strongest but to those who can adapt. That is why small mammals and birds lived on, while the great titans fell. And from that survival came something unexpected: us. Without the extinction of the dinosaurs, mammals may never have risen to dominance. Humanity itself owes its existence to the catastrophe that ended theirs. In a way, we are part of the dinosaurs' legacy, the continuation of life's story. So next time you hear the call of a bird, remember, you are hearing the echo of an ancient world, a voice that has traveled through millions of years. The dinosaurs may be gone, but their spirit still soars through the skies, walks across the land, and lives on in the hearts of all who dream of them. The age of dinosaurs has ended, but the story of life goes on.